Welcome to Reread. We are on John Ostrander's Legacy series. This is issues 39 to, I don't care. What do you want to say? 46? Let's do this. In issue 39, Cade dreams of Luke Skywalker discussing his destiny, how he can't escape his destiny. It's a really good talk. And he wakes up to find the Anzati are attacking him. You know, they're trying to drink, the girl is trying to drink his soup. So in issue 40, they beat off the assassins and I can't remember. I think they killed the Blood Carver too. The Blood Carver and the male Anzati are killed, and now the female Anzati is the last one, and they have her lead them to hit her Black Sun's boss, the Vigo there, where Cade makes a deal with him, says, hey, look, I'll steal from other members of Black Sun, and you don't kill me anymore. How's that sound? And the Black Sun Vigo agrees, but Cade's mother shoots the Black Sun Vigo anyway because he knows the Black Sun isn't going to keep his word. And of course, Cade Skywalker does not like his mother. His mother abandoned him when he was a kid, so I don't blame him. Makes sense. But you know, he says, Mom, if he would not have obeyed me, I would have just come back and killed him myself, you know, but you had to give me my deal. Thought that was good. Anyway, Delia poses as a nun to get free parts for her ship. This happened actually in the previous issue. She's just not having fun anymore. She needs parts for the Minot. And so what she does is she pretends to be a nun to get some charity. She meets another missionary from the same, you know, flock as she's pretending to be from. So she pretends to be the newest initiate, and she has a fake ID that's, you know, someone's real name, but she's stealing it. And the whole time the missionary knows she's a fake because he knows the real nun she's impersonating, and he decides to just give her the part. So an act of kindness for Blue that kind of makes her think about things. And again, it's just a very side short story. I don't think Ostrander put enough time in it as I would have loved him to. But of course, he has tons of great stories to go through. But overall, it was a nice little side story. In issue 41, they talk about the Mandalorians, what they've been up during the Legacy era. Really, I don't care. One of the Mandos puts on some Stormtrooper armor to hide. And of course, Joker Squad intercepts him. They kill the Mando that won't take off his armor, and they think that the guy who has the Stormtrooper armor, they don't know he's a Mando. And so they said, well, you're with Joker Squadron for right now. And I think he comes back later on, but it's such a minor character. It's like John Ostrander had an idea maybe we can do something with Mandos too, but then dropped it completely. And to be honest, I know everyone wanted to see what Mandalorians were up to. And so that's what John Ostrander gave you. Like, here, I'll do one issue of Mandalorians. There, now shut up. I don't really think it comes back, at least not in this series. Anyway, issue 42, Stasi is betrayed by one of his staff members. He is shot but not killed. There's a lot of assassination attempts on Admiral Stasi. But the fleet battles off the Sith. And in the end, Stasi, it's a great episode, or issue, I should say. Stasi recovers, goes to the jail cell of the Mon Calamari traitor and says, why'd you do it? He went, well, the Sith who are on my home planet, they have my wife and kids, and said, if I don't kill you, they're going to die. He said, sorry, Admiral, I didn't have a choice. He went, I understand. And he goes, I want you to know I forgive you, and your execution will be quick. You know, he's got to execute him because traitors cannot, they can't withhold punishment from a traitor, especially someone who assassinates him. So he has to make an example out of him, have him executed. Wow. Even though Stasi really does understand, I understand why you did it, and you need to understand why I'm going to have you executed for it. It's good. It's a great issue. This may be one of the best issues without Cade Skywalker. I don't know. I really enjoyed that ending. Anyway, issue 43. Cade accepts a job from Rav to go to Wayland. He has flashbacks of his father's first failure with the Vong. And this is where they finally get into Cole Skywalker's background. He and the Vong decide to Vong form planets. The Vong wanted to do this, Shaper wanted to make up for their past atrocities from a century ago and, use her talents for good. And so they turn this planet to this lush, beautiful garden, only to find out that it's infected by that Vong spore or whatnot that infects the galaxy, that turns people on the Vong again and creates more issues and discredits the Jedi too. And it was all done by Sith infiltration, we found out later. This is now I'm kind of bleeding into issue 44, where they kind of give away a little bit more of that history. And I really like that. I really like their strong ties to the New Jedi Order. The New Jedi Order is still I mean, the Vong invasion is still one of the bloodiest wars, is the bloodiest war the galaxy's ever seen. And so it should have a lasting memory on everyone, even 100 years later. I mean, you think about it, we're still talking about wars, World War I. There's people who talk about it nonstop. Even the Civil War, which is over 100 years. People can still talk about that. We still make movies about that too. So, the biggest wars are the ones we tend to have the biggest impact on our society as a whole. Anyway, Cade, Sin, and Blue get separated on Wayland. Sin runs into a descendant of a Jedi who was on Zamona Sakat. We're never told who it was, but she has a name, a Dothamor witch name in a way, ends with T-I, but I don't know who that could be. If John Osterman was alluding to someone of who it could be descended from, but I don't know. Either way, it's kind of cool. Meanwhile, Sin returns back to the Emperor. There's a good episode. Maybe this happened in this issue or the one previous, where a Jedi accompanies an Imperial Knight. The Imperial Knight has come to grab Sin and take him home. Sin still doesn't want to leave because the Mon Calamari need a Force user, a Jedi Knight, to help them. Well, the Jedi decides, as the two Imperial Knights are fighting, the Jedi breaks it up and goes, "Hey, what about me? Yeah, I'm not under Emperor fail, and I am a Jedi. I see the Force and destiny taking me to Mon Calamari and helping them out." And so they begrudgingly, realize that was a good idea. And it's so funny because at the end she goes, "He's pretty good with a lightsaber too," and they're like kind of begrudgingly giving there's not many moments where I smile, like maybe two in the entire series is where I laugh. But that was one that I thought was really funny, where the Jedi make both of the Imperial Knights out to be a little silly and childish, and they kind of hate him for it in the kindest way. And then finally, in issue 45, the Sith have captured Blue, Delia Blue, and Cade. Delia Blue has some kind of Sith species attached to her back, and I can't remember, it's Darth Madalay. I can't remember her name right now. I didn't write it down. Is the one who's been experimenting with this other Vong shaper who's evil, and that's where it ends. And that's where we're going to end and talk about the finale of the series next time.